What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the roller skating, game playing, after party loving Janet Garcia.
Yo, what's good?
Did you love After Party?
I liked it. It grew on me toward the end because I think it does some really fun things narratively, but I didn't like it as much as Oxenfree. And since I played it early too, it definitely like had some chug moments. Which I heard happened with Oxenfree too.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know why that keeps happening.
Games are hard to make.
Game, but,
you know what I mean? Games are hard to make, and then when you gotta optimize for these PCs, God only knows what they're gonna have under their hood, you know?
Sure. I played on console though, but I did generally enjoy it. I do think that maybe the push to kind of like the more 2.5D might have been a little bit more aware than it was worth.
Sure.
But yeah, I liked it overall. Did you play After Party? Did you play?
I was excited for After Party. You know, you and me are the same person. It sounded like our type of game, and I did a demo for it up until like, you know, your first bar in hell, and then I think you get on the boat with Ashley Birch or whatever, and then that was the end of the demo. And when I got the final version and I started playing, I had such a struggle getting back through that, which I know is such a unique problem to our industry and our job of replaying something again, that I was just like, it wasn't clicking. I put it down. I'm like, I'll get back to it. And it's buried on the PlayStation 4 game hard drive over there connected to the PS5.
I think it's worth going back to, because I feel like that's still a pretty good game. It just might not be like Oxenfree, I think, is like freaking incredible. And this was like a step down, but it was still really good. And I think like I said, as the story progressed, like the end is definitely like, I'm like, oh, they really like have something here more than I thought they did. But yeah. Let me know if you ever play it, if you ever finish it.
I never will, you know.
Yeah. Well, where's that Radiohead thing? It's sitting there.
Right there. It's right. You're right. It's right on the hard drive.
Why don't you just play through it so we don't have to meme this out?
How long is it?
It's like an hour.
I wish I could, but
maybe a little more.
I got a Diablo Immortal over here. You know what I mean? I got things to do over here.
Damn, I thought you were gonna reveal you have a Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. Yeah.
That's what I thought that was going to be too.
Yeah.
Good news on the Steam Deck front, everybody. You know, June is the last month. They said between April and June for me. So you're on the fucking clock, Steam. I hear if we get through June, if we get to June 30th and or July 1st, I get it for free. That's what I've been told.
All right. What's the first thing you're going to play on it? What are you
nothing.
Doing
I don't want to play any of the PC games. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not excited. I'll probably do
just want to
Rogue
look
Legacy.
at it. Okay.
It's just at this point, yeah, I mean, you know me. I'm still going to want fucking trophies. Like, nothing's going to change. The hope becomes, Janet, all right, finally, I have Rogue Legacy on the go. And then Rogue Legacy 2. And then just, you know, whatever random, probably play Diablo Immortal on it, stuff like that. Does that even work? Does that even load? I have Battle.net. I don't know how many of these. You all got different launchers. Am I getting it on Battle.net or Epic, or am I getting it on Steam? I don't fucking know. No legitimate idea how your PC interface works. I know you were all real pissed about Epic Game Store back in the day. And now what do y'all do there? Y'all sit there and eat the free games up every month and act like you didn't talk a lot of shit.
Use our
PC
code.
players, you know what I mean?
Wow.
These PC players,
There's
no
code.
backbone.
Kinda funny.
You know what I mean?
Neither do we. Go ahead, use our code.
Yeah, use our code. Kind of funny when you're using Epic Game Store. You know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Are you getting a Steam Deck? I forget. I can't remember if that.
No, not me personally, but Isaiah's getting one, so I will have access to one. And my hope is that he ends up not really using it, and then I just get a free Steam Deck. That'd be the ideal.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly.
Like he has to hate it enough to not want it, but it has to be good enough that I want it.
Yeah,
I
think it's gonna be good enough for sure.
Spot,
you know, every time Blessing talks about it, he seems to really enjoy it.
Yeah, awesome. But like I don't know.
He got one before you, huh?
Yeah.
Like well before him too.
Yeah, Blessing really like.
I think we first
kind of really early.
have one. If we don't count PSILY. Wow.
Yeah. We don't count Paris. We've talked about this. Paris does not count.
We never do.
In anything kind of funny related. Paris does not count. All right.
They call me and Roger the Deck Boys because we both have Steam Decks.
I have been calling you the Deck Boys quite a bit. The whole town's talking about the Deck Boys, the Deck Boys, the Deck Boys. That is a reference to a Chicagoland jingle, if you remember. So
is it only in Chicago?
Yeah, it was the Webb family dealers, like the Webb family that owned like a whole bunch of different auto dealerships.
The Luna, the carpet place?
Oh, 773 202 Luna. Now here's where I'll test your Chicago knowledge, Janet Garcia, of rare weird ass jingles. Do you remember the Moo and Oink jingle?
Oh, that one I don't.
Moo and Oink was a commercial that would air during like it was for a butcher shop in like downtown Chicago somewhere, and not like downtown Chicago, like the financial district, like sure. Probably South Side or North Side. I'm not sure, probably South Side. And it was like I assume this is me with a 7-year-old's understanding of how any of this works at the time, but I think now as an adult, I do get it. I think they could only afford to run ads like at 6 in the morning because that was the only time you'd ever see the Moo and Oink ad. And it would be on during Foxing in the morning when I was getting ready. So like when my mom would do this, Moo and Oink. Moo and Oink. And it would be this like dance, a guy in a pig mascot costume dancing around, and then they would rap and be like, hot dogs, ribs, moo. I'll get you a trailer. Sure. Kevin, I'm going to find you the Moo and Oink thing. We got to do this.
I really think we don't, like, I don't know if you know this, but we've started recording. Like this, everything is good now. We don't have to.
Oh, no, I know we're on the show. Like, I know what's happening. But I mean, at this point, I feel like we've come so far. We're going to look where everybody, you're going to watch the Moo and Oink dance classic commercial from Chicago here. All right. This is, okay.
For staying.
Huh?
No, I was thanking the people for staying through it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Then we're going to get to you to your news. All right, Kevin, go ahead and pull up the Moo and Oink trailer I just sent you. I can't, obviously, I think that, this, it's hard. According to the description here, Moo and Oink is a Chicago, Illinois-based grocery store chain and wholesaler. Originally named the Calumet Meat Company, the company assumed its current name in 1976. It is well known for its odd television commercials, usually featuring people in cow and pig costumes. The commercials feature a distinctive hip-hop jingle. Their jingle debuted in 1982 in the Moo and Oink dance commercial. Kevin, we need sound for this. I got to hear the jingle.
Oh, you're not hearing it? That's not good.
No, I don't hear it. Did they hear it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I must have. Yeah, I have your volume down.
Excellent. So you hear it.
Yeah.
Great.
But I'll tell you what, Janet. I would go to school and I would sing this Moo and Oink jingle, and people would look at me like I had 3 heads because they were not watching Fox Thing in the morning at 6 a.m.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it might be. People are saying it might just be
if that's
like not the right age for me to have seen it. Also, probably the time. I don't think I was watching like TV that early in the day.
Sure.
I was watching cartoons that early, but not Fox on that early usually.
I like to imagine Moo and Oink still going though. But kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. You can tell me, just like Nanobiologist did. Yes, you can install Battle.net on Steam. So there you go. If this Diablo game's not trash, maybe I'll be playing it there. But let's talk about some other games that might or might not be trash. We're going to talk about the fact that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have a release date. We're going to talk about that fact that Horizon Call of the Mountain is confirmed for Summer Game Fest. And we're going to talk about, you can get God of War for free. We'll talk about all of this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Over on Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, you can write in with your questions, comments, concerns. You can squat up. You can have a great time. Of course, on Patreon, you can get the show ad-free. You can get it with the exclusive post show we do, and you can get a bevy of benefits for other shows we do, like getting to watch them live. I'll talk about that in a second. Gamescast. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. Of course, you can get every episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily for free. You can watch us record live, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. If you're watching live, be like Nanobiologist. Keep us honest when we get something wrong or ask you a question about an obscure Chicago chain restaurant or grocery store. Make sure you go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screwed up as we screwed up. And then, of course, if you still want it for free later, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe each and every weekday for a brand spanking new episode. Of course you have ads. Of course you don't get to write in. Of course you don't get the post show. But you still get a banger of an episode. Please like, subscribe, share, leave reviews, and all that jazz. It really helps us find new people who want to hear about Moo and Oink. Of course, too, if you want to help us out and go that extra mile like we were talking about earlier, when you use the Epic Games Store or play Fortnite on your PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, whatever, use the Epic Creator Code Kinda Funny. You enter it. And what is it, Kevin? It's once a month or once a season on Fortnite? Is that right? Once a season, right?
I just, anytime you make a purchase,
just check, make sure it's activated. You know, the new Fortnite's coming up, everybody. We're all excited. We're going to be playing it over here.
New Fortnite.
Yeah, Kevin's real excited about it. Make sure your Kind of Funny code is in there, both on Saturday when the event ends and then when it comes back next week. Housekeeping for you, like I kind of teased a second ago. The Kind of Funny Games cast is live today, but a special time. We're doing it right after Kind of Funny Games Daily. So if you're live on Twitch and you want to hang out and watch them play video games, no big deal. Do that. Or you can come to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and watch all of us talk about video games. We're going to do predictions for Summer Game Fest. We're going to talk about even more Pokemon. And then we're going to have some reactions from Tim and Blessing, the big Sonic fans, to the Sonic Frontiers gameplay that dropped over at IGN. Right now, nutshell, Blessing, what did you think of it?
It was awesome.
Blessing will go into more detail and more words on that Patreon, and you don't want to miss it. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames right after this. Of course, post show, no ads, yada yada yada. Even if you're listening to this later, you're like, oh, I would like to listen to that with the post show, which will probably be a Family Feud or whatever the hell. You can go there right now. They're on demand. They're right there for you. And then speaking of crazy schedules, tomorrow, of course, is State of Play, PlayStation's Summer Game Fest State of Play. We will be live reacting to it. Yes, Janet Garcia will be there, right, Janet?
Yep.
She'll be excited. We'll watch it. We'll hang out. We'll have a great time. And then afterwards, we're doing a live PSI Love You XOXO on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, your episode for the week. So you can tune in there, watch us react, or watch us somewhere else without us yammering all over it, and then come back to see what we thought of it all on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Thank you to our Patreon producers for June, Gordon McGuire and Fargo Brady. Today, we're brought to you by Chime and Credit Karma, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 8 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
My dog Nick96 chimes in with breaking news. According to Google Maps, Moo and Oink is open right now. So Moo and Oink's still kicking in Chicago. I would love to see a 2022 commercial. I'd love to star in it. Just a heads up. I will gladly fly back Moo and Oink to be in that with you. I'll be in the costume. I don't even need to be a Greg Miller. I think that's fine. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet have a release date. Kevin, there's a brand new trailer. It dropped on Twitter with the check marks: new Pokemon check, new Professors check, and a new trailer. While it runs and Janet watches it, I'm going to read a bit from the one, the only Steve Watts at GameSpot. So, Kevin, you can click when you want to.
Do we want audio or no audio? Is that what you're saying?
Audio low a little bit so I can talk over it.
Yeah,
it's not like I don't think there's a lot of dialogue
or
around. Steve Watts writes, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are coming this year, marking the next generation of mainline Pokemon games. Game Freak debuted a new trailer, giving us an even better look at the new region and the creatures we'll be catching in this next iteration. It also gave us a release date. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are now set to release on November 18th, 2022. The trailer shows some new Pokemon, the mouse type, Pawmi, the plant, Smoliv, like Olive, and the very good pig, Lechonk. The trailer also debuted the new legendary Pokemon exclusive to each version, the dragon-like Koraidon in Scarlet and the Miraidon in Violet. We also got a glimpse of some of the new human characters. Professor Sada and Turo will be exclusive to their respective versions, marking the first time the professors deviate. And your friendly rival this time around is a young girl named Nimona. A press release alongside the trailer detailed that the game will allow free co-op exploration for up to 4 players, although specifics on exactly how this works, what happens when someone enters a battle, for instance, remain a mystery. The trailer also showed the cover art for each version of the game. Janet, we're watching it right now. We're seeing the Pokeball. We're having a great time. What is your hype level for this?
I'm excited for it, but I'm also like a little bit tired because I'm still coming off of like Arceus.
Yeah.
And I'm still a little bit bummed that they're coming out in the same calendar year because I would have spent a lot more time in Arceus if I didn't have this game coming up.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that this is, I feel like it's like kind of a cursed statement at this point, even though I love Pokemon games. I think they're all really good. I think even the bad ones are still pretty good, which I think is very impressive to do as a franchise. But like many people, I want to see more. I want to see, growth. I want to see more fidelity, this, that, and the other, right? There's like a laundry list of things that I'm hoping this game does. So I'm hoping that it all kind of starts to come to fruition. I mean, there's been a lot of talk of wanting it to incorporate some of the exploratory elements of Arceus, but maybe, bring back some of the more traditional things we've seen with gyms. And there's always the debate on these, do we want gyms, do we not? I see they had like a quick stadium overview and things. So yeah, I am excited for it, but it's like, I would have been more excited if I just had a little bit of time. Like, I feel like I didn't have any time.
Sure, you let it breathe.
And now I'm just like, oh, we're going again. It's like, we didn't have enough of a cycle between the two. But also Lechonk, amazing name. Incredible name. I'm scared for this co-op though, because these Pokemon games notoriously suck for multiplayer. So I'm cautiously optimistic. It looked good. Okay, we're together, whatever. That seemed good, but I feel like they're gonna mess that up somehow, and I'm just wondering how at this point.
What will they screw up? How will they screw this up?
Yeah, because you kind of know it's not gonna be like just good. And like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, we've all experienced the different elements of like Pokemon multiplayer, and it's, it leaves something to be desired. So I'm like, okay, I mean, this, at a quick glance in this trailer, seemed fine. We met up and we went on our way. But like, what will it actually feel like when we're playing? So
Of course.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions here. One of the things that is worth pointing out, Toby Fox over on Twitter writes, I had the honor of composing the field music for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Ooh.
After creating a concept sketch, Game Freak arranged it into many versions that you'll hear throughout the game. You can hear a bit of it in this trailer. The chat was popping off when that was playing over there. So it's worth pointing out that Undertale's Toby Fox composed the field music, which is pretty dope. Jonny Cordes writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames just like you can and says, the new Pokemon trailer looked incredible, ... If it was released 10 years ago, that is. How does Pokemon still get away with releasing games that are so far behind the standard of games that everyone else is releasing? No voice acting still. Only now do we get 4-player co-op. Everyone else was doing this years ago. Janet, you're a Pokemaniac. Why does this happen? Why do they let this happen?
They have the Pokemon, and the Pokemon are cute, and they're cool. That is like the short answer. I think the more in-depth answer is, I mean, there are very few games that are Nintendo exclusive games that have good fidelity. I think
I was gonna say in the chat, Stretch Caramel says, or Caramel, this is a general Nintendo question.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, the Nintendo games most Nintendo games don't look very good. And when they do, it's like shocking. We're like, oh my God, and it runs fine. Like Kirby in the Forgotten Land looks like absolutely, is it Forgotten or Forbidden? It's Forgotten, right?
Forgotten.
Yeah, it's Forgotten. It's the Horizon Forbidden, but it's the Forgotten Land. The Forgotten Land versus the Forbidden. Yeah, that game's fantastic. Plays amazing, looks amazing. Definitely like, you know, top 10 pickup probably on the Switch at this point. That game is incredible. But those are few and far between games that really look good. So there's that element of it. And then I don't know. I mean, I think the short answer is they don't really want to. And I don't want to say that they just decided to make it look bad on purpose or make it look worse. But that doesn't seem to be where their priorities lie. And again, I would make that same argument for Nintendo. Nintendo could make a console powerful enough to look good. They don't want to because they have their focus on other things, and that frees them up to do other things that they care about more. Things like having a more approachable price point. Things like that's kind of the main one, honestly. Just like making it a little bit easier to maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if it's easier to develop on because people always complain about Nintendo development, but you know, like they don't want to. Like they have the money to do it. That's not where their priorities lie. I think Pokemon's always gone for a more, I don't know, stylistic look to it. I think you can still have fidelity and be stylized though, so I don't want to say it's an excuse, but yeah, like it's only gonna get kind of so good, but yeah, I mean, I don't have any nicer answer. Like they're just not really gonna look amazing. I will say I got a little annoyed though because I do think when Arceus came out. A lot of people complained about the look of that, which is fair. Like it wasn't, amazing looking. But then suddenly everyone's like, oh, this doesn't look nearly as good as Sword and Shield. And I'm like, when Sword and Shield came up, everyone thought that thing looked ugly. I only heard complaints about it. So I also feel like there's a little bit of Pokemon is both a incredibly powerful and successful IP, but also a little bit of a punching bag. And sometimes it's for good reasons, but sometimes I kind of feel like it's just the thing to like, we some of this stuff we already know. It's like we're still complaining about the same stuff, but it's not going to change. Again, I don't think that means it's not worth criticizing, but at a certain point, it's kind of like, I don't know. That's like low on my list. Like I'd rather focus on the stuff that I do think that they could improve on and get right. Like I don't really see them getting the fidelity up there, kind of ever. But
and I'm with you. Of like, I just don't think they're motivated to do that because they don't need to be. Benji Sales on Twitter put out this today. Switch Pokemon franchise sales. Sword and Shield is at 24.2 million units. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl is at 14.6 million units. Let's Go Eevee/Pikachu is at 14.5 million. Legends Arceus is at 12.6 million, and New Pokemon Snap is at 2.4. Pokemon, I mean, you know me, I don't have the nostalgia for Nintendo being a Sega kid, and I didn't start playing Pokemon until way later, and I've enjoyed it fine. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm going somewhere else with this conversation, but to deviate here, I'm looking forward to this one. Arceus dropped, and I started it, and it was during review season, though, and I started, and I was like, I actually enjoy this. I like this. I want to play more of this. And then they announced this, and I was like, oh, well, I'm way more interested in playing in a modern setting than an archaic Arceus setting, right? Like, I don't want to go back in time. In the same way Andy doesn't want to be Gabe Logan, I don't want to be rubbing two sticks together and acting like this is technology. I'd rather have it there. So once they announced that, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to even play Arceus. I'll wait for this. So I hope that what people loved about Arceus is in this one. And I guess from the trailer, it seems like it is, right, Janet? Like it seems comparable.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard because like the trailer is so specifically cut and they release so little information on it. And I don't know. I don't see them doing like a preview cycle for this game either.
Which they didn't do for Arceus, remember? Which is why everybody's like, is this game going to be garbage?
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully I would like if they did, but I don't I'm not banking on that, so I feel like we're not going to know a lot going into this. But yeah, it does look like it's more open, which would be awesome. Like, I mean, I think for what it's worth, the wild area, even though it was definitely less developed than what you got in Arceus, it was one of the more fun elements and novel elements of Sword and Shield. So it's like, okay, if we can just... One of my frustrations as like a Pokemon fan, and obviously everyone wants different things from these games, so, you know, you're never going to satisfy everyone, but it does always feel like I like that they introduce new ideas and kind of make the games have their own mechanical identity or little shtick to them. But it also feels like sometimes good ideas appear and then they go away and then we just don't see them. And that's not true for every idea. Like the mounts are a thing now. You know, we don't need to like craft your party to have, you know, a certain Pokemon that has a certain move just to get through like the rocks or something or the water,
sure.
Which is awesome. That's great. They don't seem to be doing away with that. That's awesome. I want more of those things carrying through.
Well, Janet,
then you tend to get. So we'll see.
Joe there's so much to talk about Pokemon. I have so many different and then. Joe Screbbles at IGN calls this one out in his write-up about it, right? As previously announced, these will be the first fully open world Pokemon games in the series. However, what we didn't previously know was that Scarlet and Violet would see a very different structure too. The site confirms, he's been talking about the Pokemon site for the game. The site confirms that the games include, quote, a world that you're free to explore at your leisure and not in an order dictated by the story, end quote. That leads to a question from Jake Bakes Cakes, who writes down on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, Pokemon is now fully open world. How much will having access to the entire world from the beginning change the game? Does this get you more or less excited for Scarlet Violet? Janet, you're talking about Pokemon. You want more new ideas. You want to see those push forward, carried over, so on and so forth. What does this one do for you?
It's more exciting because I think too the Pokemon stories have always taken a backseat to, at least for me, to like the act of going out and catching the Pokemon and battling.
For sure.
Like that's what I care about. A little bit being friends with them too. Like I think I do like the sim elements they have that they've kind of played with to varying degrees across the different games, from like the pageants to like camping and like, you know, cleaning up your Pokemon. Like what was it called? Oh God, I don't remember. Y'all know you take the styles from the 3DS and you like clean them and stuff, like whatever that was called. It had a name, but I don't remember. It's honestly kind of close.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Someone knows. I know one of you knows.
Styling.
No, not Pokewatch. It's like Pokemie, I think it is. Pokemie. AMIE. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah. Joe Beezer's saying AMIE.
Yeah, that sounds right. You know, I like those elements as well. But yeah, like the idea of being able to explore and have the focus on exploration, like I think that was the shining star of Arceus. What I'm wondering though is like how are they going to approach this story then in the major beats of it? You know, we've definitely seen plenty of open world games have, you know, integrated stories. So I don't know if it'd be like Breath of the Wild style, for lack of a more novel comparison, where you have maybe like gyms and then you have like a main thing that you have to do with like recommended levels. Like I'm wondering how, because the other thing too that Pokemon is really focused on, and one of the things that kind of holds it back in some ways, like again, they have their decisions on how they want to craft their games and their franchise. But one big tenet of Pokemon is that anyone can play it, even if you've never played a Pokemon game. And while I think it's great to have, you know, approachability in a franchise, I do think that means that, you know, you always get the long tutorial. You always get like certain staples always stay the same. So I'm wondering, how are they going to have, you know, ease of use and approachability in something that is a little bit more open? That's probably one of my biggest questions thinking about this concept.
For me, that sounds exciting. Like, again, like, you know, the Pokemon games I've played, I usually fall off of them before the end. The one, I always fuck this up. What was it? Was it Let's Go? I don't know. 2019, whatever won the fall of 2019. Jen and I played while on our trip to London and then Paris, and we played it nonstop. And I beat it on the flight back, and that was the first Pokemon game I ever finished.
Were you just throwing the Pokeballs?
No, I would never do that. You know, I would never sit there with the Wiimote on a plane like a moron throwing the Pokeball. Are you kidding me right there? But like Arceus seemed the most interesting. Sorry, my apologies. Pokemon seemed the most interesting. Arceus seemed the most interesting, but everything they're saying about this sounds like more what would be up my alley. So I'm in the same boat of like watching it and talking about it today. I'm like, man, I should get back to Arceus. Then I'm like, well, no, because if I start playing Arceus, I'm going to totally burn out and not at all want to play Scarlet when it drops. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Sword and Shield.
Which is pretty soon too, because we have a date now, right?
November 18th, 2022. Not far at all. However, in more related Pokemon news, Kevin, this is not a number 2. I put all the Pokemon stuff under one headline. All right, Kevin? Don't panic.
Got it.
And more,
Got it.
we're going to go to Nintendo Everything, where Nicholas writes, Junichi Masuda is stepping down from Game Freak, appointed as Chief Creative Fellow at the Pokemon Company. An official press release from the Pokemon Company has just confirmed that Masuda is leaving his former role as Game Freak's managing director to become the Pokemon Company's Chief Creative Fellow, effective immediately. Essentially, that means that while he should no longer be directly involved in the development of the series' games, he will now be focusing on managing the franchise as a whole. Masuda's role in the development of the Pokemon franchise is a noteworthy one. He has been involved in the development of the games ever since the original Pokemon Red version and Green version, has directed several games in the franchise himself, and has generally assisted in the development of other games in the franchise, such as the mobile spin-off Pokemon Go. In a way, his new role in the company should mimic that of Shigeru Miyamoto, who also stepped into the role of creative fellow at Nintendo to focus more on managing their brand rather than being directly involved in developing their games. Janet, are you panicking as a Pokemaniac?
No, because I think, again, and we were kind of talking about in much more grim ways, this kind of topic yesterday about like passing on the torch and like how you can
I was getting ready for my stream yesterday, and I had the chat open, and everybody's calling you like Janet the Grim Reaper. They wanted this to be your gimmick now in KFW. Like, what? You're just saying people are gonna die?
I was talking about like I mentioned death once, and then everyone freaked out, and then the other things were like retirement and like passing on torches and things. Sure. But yeah, you have to plan for stuff like that. Again, things are not forever, and I think Masuda, like obviously like the legacy is. I don't want to say uncontested because obviously there's other like people involved, but like Masuda's had such a rich history with being involved in these games. But I also feel like having like read interviews with like Masuda and also Omori, like they've talked about trying to create those structures to have other people like take the reins and things. So I think it should be fine. I also feel like obviously Pokemon games are hard to make, but I think it's a really storied franchise. I think there's been a lot of moving parts, a lot of different identities, a lot of ways it's branched out. Like I am not really worried about it necessarily, but it is kind of like a little bit of a bummer in that like it's a change, right? And I think again, Masuda and Omori have been such like heavily associated and involved in Pokemon. Like obviously again, there's lots of people involved, but like in a lot of people's mind, like that's Masuda and Omori, that's Pokemon. And there's still also like involvement with the franchise on a higher level too, which if anything, that's, probably for the best, right? Trying to like have someone who has that experience sort of lead the vision of the franchise overall. If anything, this could be better for where they're heading in terms of longevity and, fostering people into those roles that aren't just, Masuda and like the other people that have been involved in the games before. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a notable change, but I don't think it means, oh, now everything's because again, too, with Pokemon, I got plenty of complaints now, and that's not to say that like those will go away. I don't think it's necessarily going to make for a better or worse game for this reason specifically. But yeah, it's definitely a change worth noting, and a little bit of the end of an era, but the start of a new one as well.
Yeah, hopefully that leads to some of the changes you and I know fans like Tim want from the Pokemon series. Maybe they're able to get some fresh ideas through, but we will wait and see. Just like we're waiting to see what's happening tomorrow at PlayStation State of Play. We got a number 2 on the Roper Report. Summer Game Fest State of Play has confirmed Horizon. There's a tweet from PlayStation that says, tomorrow, get a new look at Horizon Call of the Mountain for PlayStation VR 2 during State of Play. The show kicks off at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. BST. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you, of course, can watch this entire thing with us, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames tomorrow on the PS I Love You post show right afterwards. But for right now, Janet, are we getting a release date for Horizon, which would also give us the release date for PSVR 2?
Oh,
How much
man.
PSVR are we? Is tomorrow the day? Are they not doing their own event? You think? Is it going to be a big blowout tomorrow? For what is happening, Jan? Is it coming this year? What's happening?
I think again, this is like I can't wait for this not to age well, but again, these are just guesses. Like
Nobody
I don't know.
Cares.
Right? Yeah, it's not real. It's fine. I am going to say yes, just because I'm a little surprised that this is even bundled with any other content. When they kept talking about PSVR 2, we're going to talk about it later, not now, later, not now, later. Like they kept saying that over and over again. And I think for it to be not in isolation, I don't know, you could kind of make the argument either way on that being, more proof that it's not going to happen or more proof that it is. I'm taking it as that it is going to happen, that we'll see, the kind of like at least the planting of like a major seed with PSVR 2, where we would have a date, we would have this more grounded, a couple of releases. And then, maybe there is something more elaborate. I think especially with something like VR, it would be worth having a separate additional showcase to kind of talk about maybe some elements of the tech, really convince people that this is fun and easy to use and that it's going to be simple to set up and, getting some of those things out, because it is a little bit more inherently, it feels more complicated or / more foreign to most console users because it's not a console, right? If you have PS5, you probably have had other consoles before. Not guaranteed, but most likely. And even if you haven't, they're fairly simple to use. And not that the VR is inherently like crazily complicated, but with VR, people inherently have more questions. They're like, how much space do I need? What do I like need to set up with it? Like, what is it, and even stuff that is already out there, it could be worthwhile getting a refresher on. So yeah, I'm going to say yes. What about you?
You think we're getting release dates tomorrow for this?
Yes.
I will go as far in my prediction here to say you will get a release window. I think that they will end with a 2022 to confirm PlayStation VR 2 is coming this year. And then on the blog post, they'll be like, well, we're excited to tell you more about PlayStation VR in the future soon in the future leading up to its 2022 release day. Remember, of course, I'm going to read from the PlayStation blog. This is how they're currently promoting State of Play. It's been more than 2 months since our last State of Play. Who's ready for a new one? Tune in live next Thursday, June 2nd for nearly 30 minutes of announcements and updates from the world of PlayStation. We'll have some exciting reveals from our third-party partners, plus a sneak peek at several games in development for PlayStation VR 2. Watch over on Twitch, yada, yada, yada. So again, it's not a full-blown PSVR 2 showcase or a State of Play. And I'm with you, Janet, that I think when the time comes to give you the release date of PlayStation VR 2, to give you more of a technical, here's putting it on and doing the thing, and yet, like, we're in a different place with PlayStation than ever before. And I do think that I don't think you're going to get a PlayStation VR 2 showcase. I don't think we're going to get the dedicated event for it. I don't think it's going to be a big deal on that level. I think it will be a PlayStation blog post that is like, PlayStation VR 2's release date is this. Here's everything you need to know. Here's a video that is, Sid Schumann going and putting it on and showing you how to use it in the room and stuff like that. Like, I think this would be the time then to bundle it with, hopefully, it's exciting reveals from our third-party partners. This is Summer Game Fest. This is the beginning of E3 season, right? So whoever PlayStation's partnering with there, I've said, we're making predictions, so I'm sure people are going to steal them from this, try to use them against me on Gamescast this afternoon. I think Capcom will be there. I wonder, and I'm not going to say what it is. I think it'll be there. I'll talk about that on my thing or whatever. But if you have that, you have eyes on a more traditional, big, exciting AAA third-party game, that is a great time then to also bookend or put at the tail end of that and be like, hey, cool, don't forget PlayStation VR 2. Here's Call of the Mountain. Here's Yusum. And this is me talking out my ass a lot, obviously. But if this is the move to get VR 2 or lives, here's Call of the Mountain. Here's that teaser for the Ghostbusters, just to confirm that that's coming as well, which isn't a big deal, but it's a Sony thing, so it makes sense to get it out there, right? And then I think you end with, here's a trailer for Half-Life 2, Alex. Or Half-Life Alex. Coming to PlayStation VR 2. And maybe that order is different. Maybe you start with Alex, you end with Call of the Mountain, since that's the first, or the only new content you'd be able to show that is, the Ghostbusters is just, a concept trailer or whatever. Like, there's a bunch of stuff going on there, but I'm fascinated to see what it'll be tomorrow.
I can't wait to see whatever nauseating Spider-Man experience they've crafted for VR.
If that wasn't enough, again, tomorrow, PlayStation State of Play, come hang out with us, Twitch, blah, blah, blah. If that wasn't enough to get you excited for Summer Game Fest, Jeff Keighley has robbed me, ladies and gentlemen. He has fucking robbed me on the day of our SGF prediction games cast. Everyone knows I always predict the fucking Rock's going to be at the Game Awards when we do this shit. And sure as shit, he tweets out today, this is number 3, excited to welcome The Rock to Summer Game Fest next Thursday, June 9th, to talk about his role as the Foundation in Fortnite game and the upcoming Black Adam movie. God damn it, Jeff. Could you have just waited and let me get this out on the Gamescast today? Had to come out and do this. Son of a B.
Well, at least you know that your prediction would have been right. Now, I understand. There's no satisfaction on that.
Yeah,
it's,
no
it's
points
actually getting the points on the board. Yep. Yeah.
The Rock, though, going to be at Game Fest. That's cool.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
I like The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock's cool.
Are you more excited to hear him talk about the Fortnite or Black Adam?
Fortnite. I'm in my Fortnite era, since not a lot of games are coming out. I'm like, now's the time. Now's the time for me to finally go pro in Fortnite, fuck all this fucking reviews and shit. Like, I'm just gonna really focus.
There's no money in that. All the money's now in the Fortnite.
Yeah, no one's reading the articles. Like, let's be frank. Anyway, but yeah, definitely Fortnite, because I'm into Fortnite now and it's been fun. So yeah.
Are you gonna buy the battle pass for the new season? Are you that in? Are you committed to it?
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna use the Epic creator code Kind of Funny for all my Epic in-game purchases, like Rocket League and Fortnite. But I don't like Rocket League, so it's just gonna be more Fortnite. So there you go.
Crushed it.
Boom.
I was telling Kevin
I
yesterday.
read that ad all the time in my house, and people never tire of hearing it. Frankly, so
Has your brother, his fiance, and your dad and your boyfriend, are they all using Epic creator code Kind of Funny?
they have not made any Epic in-game purchases yet, so that they have not yet. But when they do, I'm like, hey, use the code. Yes.
Janet Garcia, Greg Miller from kindoffunny.com. Does MinMax have an Epic creator code?
I don't think so.
Could you start using ours on their programming when it comes up? Can you just be like, if I made you a shirt that just said use the Epic creator code Kind of Funny, would you wear it on their programming?
I'd consider it, but also I don't know if I want to be a pawn in this mental battle between you and Ben Hansen. So.
Oh no! This isn't a mental battle. I asked her politely if they had one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like it would be like if they had one, I wouldn't come in there.
Oh yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I mean, hit up if you actually want any cross promo stuff, hit up Ben. I'm sure Ben would do some degree. We've worked with you guys before on stuff, so. But yeah, I wear a lot of Kind of Funny shirts on MinMax content because I don't have a crew neck. I don't have a crew neck yet, like a MinMax crew neck. So are you calling Ben?
Ben Hansen, just send me a text message.
At the tone,
Don't order me around.
your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Ben Hansen, it's Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. You're live on Kind of Funny Games Daily right now. First off, how dare you? No one just tells me what to do. All right, send a text message. I'll leave this here, and I won't send you a text message. Question for you, and I know you just got married and you're busy. Do you have an Epic creator code? Does MinMax have one? If yes, then don't worry about it. Well, let me know, but don't worry about it. If no, would you mind if I made Janet Garcia a shirt that said use the Epic creator code Kind of Funny, and then she wore that on your programming? Thank you. Let me know. Send me a text message, motherfucker. See how you fucking do whatever you want and order me around. We'll get back to you on that, Janet. Okay.
How often are you making these kind of calls? Are these the only calls you make? Do you make any regular
100%,
calls?
100%. I do not make regular phone calls. If you get a phone call from me, it's usually once it happens the one time.
That's how you're calling the gas company. You're like, listen, Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. I noticed here that you have an extra charge here. Don't know what the fuck that's about. So yeah, fix that shit. Bye.
Yeah, no, I hate talking on the phone. Just despise it. So if you get a call from me, we joked when Poe came and played Fortnite. We were joking around about it. I think, that if I call you, it's either something horrible has happened or I'm on a show. And so you can usually tell by the hours of the day. If it's after 5, something bad's happening. You know what I mean?
God.
Yeah, I think last time I called Poe, phone called Poe that wasn't on content was when I had cancer. So that was 2012. So you know what I mean? I don't call people. You text them, and you see them, hopefully, you know?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Number 4 on the Roper Report. This is your final bit of PlayStation stuff before I'll hit to an ad break. PlayStation Plus monthly games for June have been revealed. And guess what, boy? God of War is on there alongside Naruto to Boruto, Shinobi Striker.
It's his son's name. It's his son name. I don't know why we're laughing. You know what I mean?
That's Naruto's son is Boruto.
yeah, that's right.
Now,
Big burrito
Kevin,
enthusiast.
Kevin,
Boruto.
you make fun of how stupid and lame Kind of Funny is with their naming conventions where I name Tim's son Rimothy. You're going to sit there and be like, Boruto. Is that real? That's real?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're pronouncing it a little wrong, but it's fine.
Well, I'm saying, because he's Naruto, and this would be Boruto.
There you go.
And then Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is also
just so clear, Naruto's not a comedy anime. It has funny moments, but it also has serious. You know what I'm saying? Like their goal isn't to make you laugh with the name.
Kevin, I'll let you know straight up. I've reviewed several Naruto games at IGN. All right, I know all about a guy in his bowl cut. I know, I know these. I remember I played the thing when Naruto was small, and then when he was big, I've played the fucking game.
No, it's Broccoli's son.
What's Guy's son name?
No, he doesn't have a son. Rock Lee.
Is he naming boy? You know what I mean? Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, God of War is free, and Janet, my question for you then: does this put even more weight into the scale saying God of War Ragnarok is here?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the scales can always deceive. It could be we're gearing up for our 2023 release. That's always possible. But I feel okay, now I'm starting to finally be now, I think everyone at PS I Love You, we've just been like, this thing's getting delayed for sure. And like the longer time's gone, we're like, it's definitely getting delayed. And
No,
yeah,
see, the longer
last
it's gone,
few
the more
weeks-
I've started to believe.
Oh, okay. See, I'm finally on Team Believe in the last like few weeks. I think when they like dropped some of the accessibility stuff, and then they did something else after that too. And I'm like, okay, now I'm kind of starting to buy in. And now
Remember, then it was Bruno. Bruno said he confirmed on Twitter it's coming this
honestly,
year.
when Bruno said that Bruno was before the accessibility stuff, and I'll be honest, Bruno, I'm sorry, Bruno, I did not believe you. I thought for sure people were like sending us Slack messages like, why are you out here posting this? We don't know if this is possible. I never believed Bruno. Even now, I still don't believe him. But
The
I
rating
believe
Korea,
that he
that was
believed.
the other one.
Yeah, that's the one. The rating and the accessibility thing was like, okay, I'm like kind of starting to buy into it. And they haven't, again, even if it was delayed, I'm like, you think they have to tell us at some point that it's delayed. And now with this being on like PlayStation Plus, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty much bought in now. But now I'm just like, okay, well, give me the freaking date. I just need to be able to plan my life around this game. So we'll see.
Do you think?
Maybe on
Next week.
Tomorrow?
Well, we're using the broad brush to talk about SGF, right? Summer Game
Sure.
Fest, especially in our predictions today. I think we're just talking about like basically every showcase in June.
Yeah.
Do you think either at showcase tomorrow or whatever state of play tomorrow, or SGF whatever event they're calling it on Thursday of next week? Do you think you get a God of War Ragnarok trailer and a release date there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. You know, they say when you're doing a standardized exam and you don't know the answer, just to pick the same answer for everything.
Yeah,
I'm going all release dates on this.
Okay,
Let's
wow.
go. Let's finally just get the content out there. But chat they'll show at the Xbox Showcase. That is hilarious. Of an idea. No, I think the question is like, if we don't see it tomorrow, do we think we're seeing it at SGF's like main show? I feel like that'd be kind of weird, but it also would kind of make some sense because it's a big reveal. So maybe they like would want to bundle those. I don't know. I'm not sure.
The fact that they're working with Jeff, would make me think maybe they do it at SGF. They want to be on that big stage. They want to have eyes on there that aren't just PlayStation.
It would suck for everyone to be like, it'd be awkward though still. It makes more sense. I think that's also the play that would be give the most like hype and traction to everything. But yeah, but I think we see it. I think we get a date.
All right. You can catch my prediction on Gamescast to find out what I think about it, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, let me remind you, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to support the show. You can go there. You can kick us a few bucks. You can get your questions read. You can get your names read. You can do all that stuff. You can get the show ad-free. You can get the show at the post show. You can go watch us record the Gamescast in mere minutes. But guess what? You're not watching on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. So here's a word from our sponsor. That's Janet.
This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. I love MeUndies from head to toe, all over my body. If you don't believe me, of course, right now, I'm wearing the MeUndies shirt. You can tell by the little tag going on right there, right? I got the MeUndies lounge shorts going on. Of course, I got the undies, and then boom, MeUndies socks, baby. That's how we do out here at Kinda Funny. I love being soft head to toe in the micro-modal fabric. You already know all about that, but if you don't, let's face it, summer's sweaty, but your butt doesn't have to be. With MeUndies light and breathable micro-modal fabric, you can stay comfy and cool all summer long. They have super fun seasonal prints and tons of styles to choose from, but if you just like classic black, that's totally cool too. They got a bunch of just bold colors for you to go for. They have super fun seasonal prints, tons of styles, and sizes extra small to 4XL, so you can bring the beach to your butt without ever leaving your living room. MeUndies has a great offer for all of you first-time purchasers. You can get 15% off. If you sign up for their free-to-join membership, you can apply that 15% off to their already discounted membership prices. To get 15% off your first order and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/kindafunny. That's MeUndies.com/kindafunny. Tell them Tim Getty sent you. Shout out to Chime for sponsoring this episode. No one likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills due. Good thing there's Chime. Now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early without direct deposit. That's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. But Chime is about more than just getting paid early. It's also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. So What are you waiting for? Hopefully not your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes. Get started at chime.com/KFgames. That's CHIME.com/KFgames. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank NA. Members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Get started at chime.com/KFgames. Shout out to Credit Karma for sponsoring this episode. Want a new credit card but not sure how to choose? You don't need to apply for the first offer that you see in the mail. Credit Karma can help you zero in on the right option for you and apply with more confidence. I love Credit Karma. I've been using it for years to check my credit profile, make sure everything is good and on the up and up. Credit Karma uses your credit profile to show you offers that are tailored to your financial situation. Credit Karma partners with a wide range of card issuers, so you can be sure that you're exploring all sorts of options. Best of all, Credit Karma uses your credit data to show you your chances of approval before you even apply, helping you apply with more confidence. Comparing cards on Credit Karma is 100% free and most importantly, will not affect your credit score. That is huge. Credit Karma, create your own karma. Ready to find the right card for you? Head to Credit Karma and check out your personalized mix of offers today. That's creditkarma.com or hit up the Credit Karma app to find the right card for you. That's creditkarma.com.
Kevin, Janet, I have breaking news for you. I've entered it in the document, Kev. This is going to come from Variety's Joe Otterson, who writes, Will Arnett to voice Sweet Tooth in Twisted Metal series at Peacock. Will Arnett is officially set to voice the iconic character Sweet Tooth in the Twisted Metal TV series at Peacock. The character in the show is described as a hilarious and terrifying hulk of a man who is as emotional as he is cunning. A lover of chaos, this majestic, rage-filled killer dons an ever-smiling clown mask and uses Lost Vegas as his own personal kill ground, all while he drives his infamous Doomsday ice cream truck. It has long been rumored that Arnett would voice Sweet Tooth in addition to serving as an executive producer on the series, though it was never formally announced until now. Arnett joins previously announced cast members Anthony Mackie, Stephanie Beatrix, Thomas Hayden Church, and Nev Campbell in the live action show. I don't know what to make of Twisted Metal on Peacock, Janet.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to see it now though, because I feel like it's going to be interesting to look at.
Will Arnett means comedy. I like Will Arnett.
Yes.
So like I like Anthony Mackie. Thomas Hayden Church, not the best Sandman I've ever seen because he wasn't good, but I liked him a lot in Wings. I liked him a lot in the wine movie Sideways. No, what was it? Yeah, and Nev Campbell, Scream. Come on, but like still, it's just like is this a show I'm actually gonna want to watch? Week to week?
Probably not. I will say with Will Arnett, I mean, all I can think about is
Lego Batman.
Arrested Development. Oh, Lego Batman sounds really good. Yeah, Lego Batman was fun. But so I only think of him as Joe, which works, honestly. I feel like that would also work. So, yeah, I mean, Twisted Metal, it's a weird one because it's like, it's not exactly a game I associate with like story, which in one hand, hey, it can kind of take it in whatever direction you kind of really want to go in. But, you know, yeah, I don't see this being good. But like, hey, make your art.
Every time I say I'm not into it, I get yelled at by Blessing. You know what I mean? Like he's excited for this, and okay, go get him, Bless.
I feel like Blessing's excited in the way that like we often lie to ourselves. It's like when he's like, I knew y'all weren't gonna play the Bugsnax DLC. Like I know Bless is not gonna give a shit about this Twisted Metal series. Like,
of course,
you know, but I think he thinks he wants to, and I'm like not gonna burst that bubble.
He thinks he wants to. That's a great thing.
Here's the thing. I feel like
what's the thing?
I feel like there's an unspoken thing among all of us where it's like we all get to have like maybe 3 delusions that no one, you know, bursts. You know, like it's like, okay, well, let's just leave him be on this. Like this is his delusion that he's allowed. So there you go.
Agree. Number 5 on the Roper Report. Parents of the wrongful death suit over at Activision have dropped the charges. This is Stephen Totilo over at Axios. The parents of Carrie Moynihan have asked the California court to dismiss their lawsuit against Activision Blizzard over the death of their daughter, according to a recent court filing. Paul and Janet Moynihan made their request, which hasn't been widely reported, on May 6th. The request calls for the entire action to be dismissed with prejudice, meaning it could not be filed again. The family's lawyer and an Activision rep both declined to comment to Axios about the dismissal. The Moynahans sued Activision in March, alleging workplace harassment was a significant factor leading to the 2017 death of their daughter, a 32-year-old finance manager at a company retreat. The parents had criticized Activision and the Anaheim, California Police Department for their investigations into their daughter's death, which a county coroner had determined to be a suicide, according to a Washington Post summary of the suit. Carrie Moynihan's death had first been referenced without use of her name in the state of California's sweeping July 2021 discrimination and misconduct suit against Activision as an alleged example of the company's problems regarding sexism and sexual misconduct. Activision had quickly disputed many of the allegations in the California suit, which it continues to fight, and said last summer that Carrie Moynihan's death, quote, has no bearing whatsoever on this case, end quote. So, as this continues to be one of those, we go from getting to talk about a video game TV show and a bunch of stupid video game news to something incredibly real, incredibly painful, and incredibly fucked up. This is the real news, and we will continue to monitor it and keep you posted. No, I don't know why they would call it out. And as it says here, right, both the family lawyer and the Activision lawyer haven't responded to comments. So who knows what's going on there?
I mean, I feel like there's no good outcome in anything like this either way,
Sure.
because they already suffered such a loss that nothing's going to unring that bell. But, you'd hope that legally and emotionally they take the actions that are, in their best interest. And unfortunately, again, we don't know why this was dismissed. Maybe it's because they didn't think they could go through with it and kind of come out the other end. Maybe it's because they change their mind on wanting to do it. There's a number of reasons, but hopefully at the end of the day, some of those things lead them to some degree of, peace and healing, whether maybe that was part of dismissing this, or maybe this is a big negative in that sense, and this exacerbates the pain that they're already experiencing. We don't really have a way of knowing. They haven't said. You just kind of have to hope for the best for these people affected by this.
100%, yeah. And so it's worth bringing up, I think, because obviously we've talked so much about the lawsuit and what's going on with the state of California, but no sense in us trying to dig through their personal reasons for doing this. And if there ever is a comment, we'll report it here. But for now, let's move on to story number 6. A reminder that it's Pride Month, so you should be more like Vince Zampella. This is Ethan Gatch over at Kotaku. Vince Zampella, Respawn Entertainment general manager and head of some of Electronic Arts' biggest franchises, spoke out on Twitter in defense of transgender rights ahead of the start of Pride Month on June 1st. Kotaku has learned that this rare display comes after an internal roundtable discussion earlier today, in which executives at the FIFA maker once again faced questions from employees about its relative silence on these issues. Sorry. To quote Zampella here, trans rights are human rights, Zampella tweeted on Tuesday. It is as simple as that. Respawn has grown on the principles of diversity, equality, and inclusion and strives to uphold those values. Let's be better humans, end quote. Of course, EA, as they point out here, right, is still not taking a firm stance on any of the stuff and kind of being like, well, lots of opinions and maybe we'll just stay out of it and stuff. So heartening to see Vince, from Respawn stand up and say something about this, and I think speak up for those people. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that it's an interesting time in terms of folks talking about human rights across the board and the different facets that human rights take shape, because there is a lot of splinteredness, which is unfortunate. You would think that people could agree on human rights generally, but for a lot of people, they do make it, I think, deeper than it needs to be. You should support trans rights and human rights because you have, for one, it's the right thing to do, and two, you are supposed to be, a welcoming place of employment. That is part of it, and there really shouldn't be much debate or hesitance over that. But unfortunately, I think time and time again, you see people not wanting to, offend anyone. Again, I'm of the mind that if that's offensive to people, I feel like the more egregious thing is not being down for trans rights. But I guess the one heartening thing is, even though it seems like it's challenging to get studios and publishers to have, a unified message on these things, there are at least people that are in power being like, well, you know what, I'm going to say something. You can't stop me from saying something, even if we can't have a unified statement. And I feel like you're seeing more and more of folks kind of, use their position to try to, voice those things.
For sure. And Vince isn't alone, it should be pointed out. The article goes on. Lindsay Pearson, franchise creative VP for The Sims at Maxis, also weighed in. Quote, women's rights are human rights, the 20-year EA veteran wrote on Twitter. Transgender rights are human rights. Maxis and The Sims value diversity, equality, and inclusion in our core, and we strive to bring this to life through our teams and our work. We see you and we stand with you, end quote. The Sims 4 most recent update added custom pronouns, and in recent years, the series has made a concerted effort to be more inclusive. Sources said some staff at this EA in general were once again dismayed with the lack of clear answers from management, whose response again appeared to lean on the idea of abortion and trans rights lacking company-wide support. Kellogg and George effectively echoed Chief People Officer Mala Singh's remarks from an internal company town hall a week ago. Quote, "These are incredibly complex personal issues, and part of being an inclusive company means being inclusive of all those points of view," she said at the time, without specifying what the other points of view on issues like transgender rights might be. Sources said Kellogg and George followed her lead in trying to focus the conversation instead on what EA can do to support the individual healthcare needs of its employees amid the ongoing right-wing culture wars and attacks on human rights. The Battlefield publisher had previously sponsored a Dallas Morning News ad alongside dozens of other companies condemning a grossly transphobic government order in Texas. Quote, "We're proud to join the Human Rights Campaign, along with others in the business community, to stand against discriminatory laws and policies being introduced in Texas, Florida, and other states across the country," it said in a statement to the press at time. However, neither that sentiment nor Zampella's has ever been shared on EA's website or social media channels. That's in stark contrast to studios like Bungie and Certain Affinity, which haven't backed down from taking a stand on polarizing issues other game companies have apparently deemed too controversial to weigh in on. It's not yet clear how EA in particular will reconcile its current silence with its 2022 Pride Month activities. There has been an update to the article that reads like this. An EA spokesperson commented, quote, "EA support for the LGBTQIA+ and trans communities is longstanding and enduring and has been shared widely and publicly," and supplied a link to the above mentioned Pride 2021 EA blog post. So, yeah, we kind of had the conversation in the middle, but if you have a platform of any kind, use it to speak out for the people you love and be welcoming and be cool. And don't be afraid to say, hey, trans rights are human rights. And everybody have a nice Pride Month. Quick hits to get you out of here. Number 7, Tekken 7 is selling really well. GamesIndustry.biz had one of those things where it's just like the headline, and that's all there really was to it. But Tekken 7 sells 9 million copies. The game director confirms the milestone. The fighting series has sold over 53 million copies in total. And then number 8 on the Roper Report, John Madden is on the cover of Madden 23. Kevin, if you want to click on that and throw that up. He's back. Boom. Tough Action Tenactin. Well, you got to scroll down a little bit. Sorry. Boom. Tough Action Tenactin. There he is. John Madden.
It's cute. It's a really nice cover.
Yeah. Good to see John Madden out there again. Janet, do you ever play the football game? You ever play the Madden? You ever do that?
Yeah, I played a lot of Madden. I think it was Madden 03. I might have those years minus like plus or one because I don't fully remember the year that I played. But yeah, I was really heavy in the Madden at the time. And I played a bunch on the GameCube because my brother really liked Madden. And I was like, I really want to play nothing but Smash Melee and nothing but Mario Party 4. And like literally every day I'd ask him every single day, hey, can we play? And here's the thing. It wasn't like a quick game. Like when we played Smash, this for Smash. Like when we played Smash, we did like 64-man melee, just 2 people. It's hours, 5 hours. That's their whole day. So like we were doing it, but he likes those games too. But he's like, okay, well, this is a lot. Like I'd like you to play Madden with me, not in exchange, but like, hey, can you play Madden with me? I'm like, sure. And eventually it got pretty good, at least competitive with my brother. And we had some really fun games. But that was the extent of like my Madden history. I haven't been back since, and the game's evolved a lot. But yeah, you know, I do have a history and a love for Madden. So yeah, shout out to this cover. It's really cool looking. What about you? Did you play much Madden at all?
Oh yeah, I fucking played the shit out of Madden. In more recent years, I've fallen off.
Okay.
No, in recent years, I've fallen off. But
what was the last one that you hit up?
Like, it would be during the Kind of Funny run. It would basically what would happen is when the Madden would drop, it would be like Sean and my friend Sean and my former roommate Mike Mitchell. Like we would have like a Saturday night and just play it, like a ton of it. And then in college, in like high school, like that's when I'd be running like these multi-year dynasties and like going the whole 9 and trying to play every game and do that. But I was also always way more of an NCAA football guy. Like I like 1 foot in bounds. I thought it was a more exciting game. I like the option and stuff like that. So that's really where I put my time in. But then when I have a great year with Mizzou, like have like a character like Brad Smith, a player like Brad Smith that I could then remember the old one where you could take the players and import them into Madden, like take them off NCAA and import them into Madden. Fucking I would do that shit nonstop too. But for me, yeah. I have a huge history. Me and Poe's friendship is founded on playing Madden together. And so like it goes way, way, way back all the way, the Genesis and whatnot. But like good to see it here. That's exciting. But for me, it's way more about, hey, I can't fucking wait to play college football when they get that together. But Janet, EA College Football is still so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and grop shops, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. I almost forgot. Remember that IGN, me and Bobby did that series where we played each other all the time. Diablo Immortal is out now on mobile. That's one day ahead if you didn't know. It'll be out PC tomorrow. Hop Dodge is out today on Steam. Death Run TV is on Switch, Google Stadia, and PC. Lake, a game Jan and I love, is out on Stadia. And then this is it's a new dawn in Knockout City, and the game has never felt more free. That's right, Knockout City is officially free to play with today's launch of Season 6, City of Tomorrow. We all loved Knockout City at launch, so if you haven't played, here's your chance. Jump on in there and play some Dodgeball. Going Medieval has released an Animal and Pets update today, and then you're also getting Leap today. I think it's, I'm using release. Yeah, I don't like how releases.com is what I've been using, Janet, and they make their site just uber cumbersome to use. So I got to open all this in new tabs here. Hold on one second. That's because people want, they need to know what's out, Janet. They need to know. Pinshu Cult Hex Mortis is out on PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Word Wheel is out on PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Falufi's Adventure is on PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Leap is on PC, PS4, and PS5. And then Silt is on PC, PS4, PS5, and Switch. New dates for you. When the latest update for Craftin' Inc.'s PUBG Battlegrounds releases on June 8th for PC and June 16th for consoles. Players can drop into the new ranked season, find more healing items in Angirl and Miramar, and enjoy the original Sandhawk map in Team Deathmatch mode. Space Lines from Far Out launches on Xbox Game Pass and PC on June 7th. Autonauts is coming to Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch this month. And then GameSpot reports Super Bomberman R Online, Konami's well-received party game, is shutting down this year. Konami has announced that it will terminate the service for the game, or for the online game, across all platforms on December 1st, 2022. Ahead of the shutdown in December, Konami stopped selling in-game currency today, June 1st. The publisher said players should spend all unused Bomber coins before the servers go dark, though whether or not there is any type of refund in place is unclear. So go out there if you want to play that and get your Bomberman bucks spent. Deals of the day for you. Wario64 points out that Tell Me Why is now free to own on Steam. You can go grab it there. Janet, we asked people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screwed up as we screwed up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, RoosterTeeth.com, and podcast services around the globe. We talked about Pride, so I guess this makes sense. I don't think it's missed news as much as advertising, but Nanobiologist points out Xbox announced their initiatives for Pride Month, including Pride merch made by and for the LGBTQIA+ communities, donating a total of $170,000 to LGBTQIA+ nonprofits. The Pride Controller design coming to the Design Lab starting June 9th throughout the whole year. Tell Me Why is available for free in June, plus charity live stream, and donating $25,000 to 2 different nonprofit organizations that support trans, non-binary, and genderqueer communities, and a curated list of games made by LGBTQIA+ developers. You can get that all at news.xbox.com. And then, so guess what? That's it. It's another show in the books. Yay. Jan and I are going to go do a post show, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. After that, on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, we're recording the Gamescast and predicting Summer Game Fest. And they're going to react to Sonic Frontiers. And we're going to have a great time. If that's not your jam, spending some bucks and supporting us, I totally get it. You can stay here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames and watch Mike and Nick do the Top Gun Maverick Challenge. If you missed that and you want to catch that later, youtube.com/kindoffunnyplays, our newest YouTube channel where we put up all the Twitch streams. Yeah, that's it. I did it. I nailed it. This is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Nerdy news you need to care about every day. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames, RoosterTeeth.com, podcast services around the globe, Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Janet, where can people keep up with you?
You can follow me at GameOnysus. That's Game ONYSUS across everything: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. And then I just had a review drop. I reviewed Card Shark over on my outlet, Pen2Pixels. So it's pen2pixels.com. So go ahead and read that review. And then if you haven't been reading, read literally everything else. Is that Ben? Oh my God.
Ben Hansen, you made it in at the wire. You're live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. How are you?
I'm doing so great. I've never been more confused by a voicemail, Greg, so thanks for calling, man.
No problem, man. I love you. Congratulations on the wedding.
Thank you. We're on our honeymoon in Alaska right now, so I'm battling a moose and trying to understand what you're talking about. A t-shirt for Janet? What is this?
Do you have an Epic creator code?
No.
Kinda Funny does have an Epic creator code. If I make Janet a shirt that says, use the creator code Kinda Funny, can she wear that on Min-Max Programming?
Yeah, she can wear whatever she wants. Sure.
Do you and your wife want one as wedding gifts?
You know what? I don't know what the fine print is, but you got it, man. Sign us up.
There we go. That's my kind of fan. Everybody subscribe to Min-Max. Ben, we'll talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody, you take care too. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.